Guitar Studio, and welcome to what I think is the first video of 2017. I've been doing a series of videos which I shot before Christmas and I've been uploading those every couple of days or so on the Absolute Beginner series. So I'm teaching guitar from absolute scratch, but I think this is the first sort of like video proper where I'm answering questions that have been sent in by YouTube viewers. Before I get started, though, a quick bit of news. We now have a mascot. So he just arrived over Christmas, and I think perhaps he needs a name, so if you want to suggest a name for the PhatPhish mascot, then leave it in the comment section below. Okay, getting on though and answering the question that was sent in, came in from Kim Duk Sung, hope I pronounced your name right there, who I think is in Korea. And basically the question is, sent a link to a YouTube video, which I'll put a link in the information section below so you can see what we're talking about. And the title is Passing Notes, Bassline Approach, Custom and Thumb Over. And the question to me is, what do you think about this? So what do I think about that? Well, in the video we've got somebody playing a bit of acoustic guitar and making heavy use of the thumb for playing the bass line. Perfectly valid. The thumb it's on the fretting hand, it's there to be used, there's nothing wrong with using the thumb for fretting. My initial impression was the way it's being played on that video. Perhaps it's not the most efficient way of playing it, but it doesn't always have to be about efficiency. I mean, I remember going to a guitar clinic years ago with Michelangelo Batio, who you might know is a very, very technical, real shred guitar player. And he does all sorts of clever things. He has like double neck guitars where he can play right-handed and another neck over here, where he can play left-handed. He's got 4 neck guitars, and he does all sorts of clever things. But his opening piece that he did at this clinic was just played on a regular guitar, but he did lots of like fancy under-over type of things. It sounded, great, but was very much for show. So sometimes, playing something that's just more visual, no bad thing. I thought, well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about using the thumb as part of your fretting hand technique. And I think the way that certainly I use my thumb the most when I'm playing, it's not for fretting, it's actually for support, because your thumb is vital when you're doing string bending. So if you think about when you're bending a string, you're taking that string and you're pushing it over across the neck. Now if you just do that without any support on the top of the neck, anything to counterbalance the force that you're putting in from your finger, the neck's just going to rise. You're not going to bend the string, you're just going to lift the guitar neck up. So by putting your thumb hooked over the top of the neck, you're giving something you can kind of push the neck down and keep it in place while that finger's pushing up, and you can just leave it, use the thumb almost as a pivot, as a lever, and squeeze that bend. And that's really important for unsupported bends. I always try to teach people, if you're bending a string, so say we're bending here with the ring finger, have a couple of fingers behind, taking some of the load off the string. Then when you do this, you're down to just one finger holding the bend. It's particularly if you haven't been playing for too long and you haven't got a lot of strength in your fingers, there's the danger that you're going to strain yourself. So by using the thumb to spread some of the load, rolling back helps you with that bending action. So the thumb for string bending does play a vital role. So if you're doing string bending, don't just think about what you're doing with your fingers. Think about the role that the thumb's playing and how it's helping you to get leverage on the neck and so on. Let's talk about a few other ways that you can use the thumb as part of your playing. Just clean my tone up a little bit. Oh yes, because people ask me about these things. Guitar of the day today is this thin line T-type. It's a guitar that I actually built myself. It was like a Partocaster a couple of years ago. So ash body and some Seymour Duncan hot rail pickups in there. And yeah, let's talk about using the thumb for fretting. And look at a chord. Let's have a look at this chord. That chord there it's a D9, it's a D dominant 9 chord. And really you couldn't play that one without your thumb. So if you look at the fingers I'm using, I've got a bar with the pad of my ring finger on the top 3 strings there at the 5th fret. I'm fretting the 4th string at the 4th fret with my index finger, first finger, and then my thumb's coming over the top of the neck at the 5th fret and fretting the bottom 2 strings. So if you just look at the layout of those notes and the chord diagram, that would be nigh on impossible to play with just fingers. So yeah, bring the thumb over the top of the neck. That's a useful way of playing that chord. And there's other chords you can come across where you might want to play a note on the lower strings. It's difficult to get at with your fingers. Yeah, bring the thumb over the top of the neck and use the thumb as a fretting note, as a fretting device. It's fine. Another chord actually you could use that with, use your thumb with, is if you think about it like an F chord, F major chord down here. I know some guitarists will just play that on the top 4 strings rather than playing it as a bar, then bring the thumb over to fret the root note on the bottom E string, but bringing it over just enough that the muting the 5th string. So using the thumb there to play the bass note in the chord. And the approach that was shown in that video looks a bit flamboyant, a little bit unconventional, but the principles sound about using your thumb to play a bass line while you're playing chords or something. And so if I'm playing a chord and I want to put some, like a little bass line into it, sometimes where my fingers are on the fretboard, it's easier to play the bass line with my thumb. Other times it's easier to play the bass notes with my fingers. Just adapt, but having the flexibility of being prepared to be able to use the thumb as well, it gives you more options for what you can play. And another thing that kind of sticks in my mind, because I remember I think it was the first performance piece that I did when I was at Musicians Institute. We had like an afternoon jam session, and the exercise was playing in the key of C major. So we're going to play the 4 and 5 chords, so F major and G major chord. But it was an exercise in playing the D Dorian mode, so I had the F chord and the G chord, but over a D bass note. Yeah, really easy just to play that D bass note with the thumb. So there's options there if you want to be creative. Think about more about how you can incorporate the thumb into your fretting hand technique. You could go really over the top. I mean, there's one guitar player, can't remember his name. I'm going to say Al Pitrelli or Kane Roberts. I think he was a good few years ago. He used to play it with Alice Cooper, and he used to do something where he could actually bring his thumb round and use it like as an extra finger from fretting underneath, so you could get some massive stretches with his left hand. Feels really weird to do, but I guess if you want to practice it as a bit of fun, as a bit of a party piece, you might find it something you can take and build it into your playing. So be prepared to experiment and see what you can come up with. But the important message is, don't think about your fretting hand as just being the 4 fingers. The thumb does play a part, whether it's supporting bends or fretting notes. Okay, that's all for now. Hope you found that useful. If you did, please click like, subscribe, etc. All the options down there. And if you've got a suggestion for a future video or question that you want to ask me, then if you go here, there's a form you can fill in and send your question in. I'll try and get around to answering it as soon as I can. Got a little bit of a backlog though, but I should get around to it sooner or later. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.